So this year I've actually learned a lot. I started off the year putting my self-worth in other people and other things. I thought fear was part of my identity. I thought I was always going to be fearful. But it's cool now that I get to sit back and be it's not part of me anymore. I've been saved and I've been free from it. Now I get to look at myself, and my self-worth is in Jesus, and He's my unshakable foundation. And I don't know where I would be if I wouldn't have done this.
I was probably the most negative person I knew. Everything, my eyes were always on my circumstances, and I was always looking at how big my problems were, and it just didn't make sense why someone that devoted their life to Jesus was always so negative. But I made a decision along the way that I was going to start praying for my heart to change. I knew that if I'm always negative, I don't really think Jesus is that in control of my life. Once I realized that I could trust what was holding me up, I could trust Jesus when He was holding me up, I was able to have a flippin' blast. I just can't get this smile off my face. I'm just super excited all the time. And now that I know that I have chosen to trust Him and take giant leaps of faith and get caught up in stuff and fall and make mistakes, and He's going to catch me.
Choices are things that we all have to live with. I have found out through both years of the internship, but really this second year, that the choices that you make really do affect how you walk with Christ, how you view your relationship with Christ, how He can speak to you. You can choose out of any situation that you want. You can choose into Jesus. You can choose into what He wants. We just have to choose. Any situation, whether you're upset, whether you're happy, whatever, you get to choose Jesus and know that He is actually going to take you to where you need to go.
Going into the internship, I didn't want to do it at all. I was excited about getting out of high school, and I was excited about freedom, and then the Lord called me here. I was terrified of leaving my home. So I had really put that as who I was. Fear was my only option. As I started going throughout the internship, I started to hear the Lord's voice. I started to realize when I was making the choice of fear and when I wasn't. Fear is not my identity. It's something that I choose. I get to choose life or death. I get to choose fear or not. I get to choose. When I actually chose in and I chose Jesus, that is when I got that's when I got hope, and I realized how faithful He actually was, and He who begins a good work is faithful to finish. And so I'm looking forward to the next season, even if it's not what I want. I'm excited about it, and I know that there is hope.
I think this year He's taught me that He is the Redeemer. Very, very quickly in the start of my second year, I lost sight of who I was. When you're so focused on the goal, you miss everything, and so you make a mess. But He is faithful to take all of my stuff and make it beautiful. It's true when the Bible talks about how when you forget to be thankful, your heart and your mind become dark. You forget how you're blessed, and you forget all of the small things that the Lord gives you, not because you need them, but because they're sweet. You find joy in remembering everything you've been given. You find who you are because it's not what you've done, it's what the Lord's done. You find your identity in Jesus and everything that He's brought you through, and you remember He is faithful and that He is so much better than anything I ever could have held on to in the first place.
So this year has been really interesting. I came into this year really broken and lost. I was someone who built walls up around herself to protect herself. I've had a lot of people this year ask me who the real Abby is, the one that God created, and so that was what my year started to look like. Something that was really huge was that I was holding my shame and my burdens of my past, and I thought that it was my identity, and I was just well, I'm always going to be that girl. In 2 Corinthians, it says, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, and the new is here. And that is what my year was. The Lord got to show me who I am in Him, and that I'm new in Him, and everything's washed away, because the second that I said yes to Jesus, I was free from all of my sin, every single bit of it. Gosh, I'm just extremely grateful for what the Lord did this year.